Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
All right, how are you all?
Good evening.
Fine, sir.
All right, so let me share my screen now. Okay, is it visible to all? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, fine. So let's start with question. Okay, the first question is, what is Django project? And the second question is, what is Django application? Okay, so can we say a Django project is a collection of what? Collection of application.
Applications.
Okay, yesterday I told you about this. A Django project is what? Collection of applications. And configuration. Okay, so whenever we create Django projects, so inside the Django project we create application, as well as there are some configurations files are there in Django project. Let me show you. For example, this is our Django project, demo project we have created yesterday. So inside the inside the project, we will see some configuration files are there. Okay, settings.py is there. Okay, init.py is there. So these are what configuration related files. And we have application. We have only one application inside our project, and our application name is test app. And this test app application also have further configurations files. Okay, so a Django project is a collection of application and configurations which forms a full web application. Okay, now what is Django application? So a Django application is responsible to perform a particular task. Okay, in our entire web application, right? So see, we create different application in order to perform different operations. In a project we can have different application to perform different operations, like EMI calculator application is there, polling application is there. Okay, login, registration, loan app, or we can say account app, and different kind of app we can have inside one project. Okay, okay, now let's understand what is web server. Okay, what is the use of web server? Okay, so yesterday we have seen how we can initiate our web server, how we can like run our application, or how we can start our server. So we have seen the command. So how to execute Django application? We can use this command py manage.py run server. Okay, so server will start and server will execute our Django application. Right. So what's the role of this server, let's see. So we can say web server will provide environment. Okay, it provide what? Environment to run our web application. Okay, second is web server is responsible to receive the request and formed request to the corresponding web component based on URL pattern. Okay, I will tell you about this. What does it mean? URL pattern, and to provide response to the end user. Okay, so for example, okay, so let's see here. For example, this is okay, this is our computer. Okay, so this is our computer. Suppose on our computer there is one client. Client is nothing but a browser. Okay, so in our computer there is a browser and there is a person. Okay, person, or we can say user. We have one user here. Okay, so let me just, okay, so this is the person and he want to access Facebook page. Okay, he want to access Facebook page. We want to access Facebook page. So what will happen? It will write URL on browser, and the browser will request to the server. This browser is also known as client. So this client will request to the server. Okay, okay. So it will request to the server. So how it will request to the server? It will send the request something like, Okay, so it will send the request something like http. Okay, so it will send the request like https or http slash slash facebook.com. Okay, so this is a facebook.com URL. It will go to the Facebook server. Okay, it will go to the web server. Okay, web server of Facebook, right? So we can say this is what web server. Okay, so the request will go to the web server, and inside the web server, there is Facebook web app. Okay, there is what Facebook web application. Okay, and what is the name of this? Let me just quickly write. This is nothing but web app. Okay, inside the web server, there is web app. Okay, and this web application has like some components. Okay, so it has components like we can say URL, and it has components like views, and it has components like template. Okay, so let me write the name also. So this is what URLs, and the second components contain what views. Okay, and this is nothing but template. Okay, so what will happen? Suppose you are the user. Suppose you are the user. So you will request. Suppose you want to open Facebook. If you want to access Facebook, so you will write Facebook in client. It means in browser. You will write Facebook URL, and this Facebook URL will go to the web server of the Facebook, right? And after that, inside the web server, we have Facebook application. Okay, so whatever URL is coming, URL will come to the urls.py file inside web application. And this, if this URL is valid, okay, so if you are sending the correct URL, if you're sending correct URL, so this URL will match with corresponding views. Okay, it will match to the corresponding views. Okay, and views will request to the template, okay, in order to send the response. And like we can take the response directly from views, otherwise we can take the response from views and then template, and template will respond to the browser. Okay, okay, so this is how the response will come back to the browser. Are you understanding this diagram? Are you guys understanding this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so when we create like when we actually create the application, and we will create the endpoints, means we will create URLs point, and we will create views for that URL. For each URL we will create views. Okay, then you will relate with diagram. Okay, so understanding this diagram is really important. Okay, how the request and response flow. Okay, this is what request. Let me write here. This is what we are doing. We are requesting to the web server. This is what request. Okay, so okay, so see, when we create the projects, so in project there are some files. Okay, so there are some files in project configuration. There are some files like init, settings, asgi, urls, wsgi. Let's try to understand these files. Okay, not in depth, but just a small definition about each file. Okay, so like first file, well, let's say first file is what? Init underscore underscore dot py. Okay, so this is the file. So what is the use of this file? Okay, so it is what? It is a blank file. It is a blank file. Okay, which tell to the Django project. Okay, this is what? A blank file which tell to the Django project that this that consider this folder as package, or we can say Python package. Okay, so Python package is nothing but it is what? Collection of modules. And what is module? Module is nothing but a Python program. Okay, a single Python program is known as module. Okay, so let me just open that folder in browser, I mean in VS Code. So this is VS Code, and in VS Code you will see init.py is there. So this is what? Empty file. This is what? Blank file. Nothing is there. It tells to our Django projects that consider this folder as package. Okay, Python package. And after that we have another file. After that we have another file, admin.py. Okay, so what's the use of this admin.py file? We can register. Okay, so we can register our models in this file. Okay, models are nothing but database. Whatever database structure we will create, whatever database tables we will create, we will like we will register that database table in what? Admin panel of this Django. Okay, I will demonstrate about the I will demonstrate you the admin panel of this, but meanwhile try to understand it. Okay, so Django will use these models with Django's admin interface. Okay, and after that we have another file. See, this is what? Admin file, admin.py. So when you go to when you go inside the test app application folder, so you will see one admin.py. So here we need to register our models. Okay, model forms we register inside what? This admin file. Okay, and after that we have another file which is apps apps.py. Okay, so what is this app.py file? In this file we have to specify applications. Okay, applications configuration. Okay, so whatever the application related configurations are there, we will specify inside what apps.py file. So this is the apps.py file. So inside this we will configure the application related settings. And after that we have another file. Another file we can say models.py. Okay, so this model.py is responsible to create model class. Okay, so we can say in this file we have to store applications data. Okay, applications data model. Okay, data model means we create here database in order to store our we create database tables in order to store our data permanently inside the database. Okay, so this is what models.py. Here you can see models.py is there. Okay, there is no model class right now, but we will create. After that we have another file which is tests.py. Okay, so what's the use of this test.py? So in this file we have to specify test functions to test our code. Okay, so whenever you create the Django project, so before deploying your application on production server, you will test your application. You will test your Django application before deploying it. Okay, so here we have test.py. Okay, so here we write code in order to test our application code or our Django project code. And after that we have another file views.py. This is one of the important file. Okay, views.py. Okay, so in this file we have to save functions that handles requests and return required response. Okay, so as we have seen in diagram, so whatever request will come, that request will process by the views. Okay, and this view will return a response to the end user. So whatever request will come, it will come to the URL and views will process that request and send the corresponding response. Okay, so in files, in here in our project we have views file. Okay, so here we will create views for each request. Suppose 10 requests are coming from the client side, so we will create 10 views to handle that request, right? And after that we have another not file, we can say we have folder. Our folder name is migration. We have migrations folder. Okay, so inside our project we have migration folder as well. Just see here, we have migration folder. Okay, and inside the migration folder we have init. Okay, and this is also empty file. So this directory stores database specific information. Okay, so this migration folder contain what? Database related information. Okay, okay, and database, in order to create database table we create model class, or we can say it This directory store database specific information related to model class, related to models. Okay. Now let's discuss about activities. Okay. What are the activities are required to create Django project? Okay. Activities required for Django project. Okay. So the first activity is what? The very first activity is what? If we created our Django project, so first we need to add our application in settings.py. Okay, so that Django aware about our applications. Okay, so in last class we have created one application which is test application. Okay, so this test application, whatever application we will create, we will register our application inside project configuration. So if you will go to the project folder, you will see settings.py, and inside the settings.py, okay, so you have to register your application. Okay, so these are what? Installed application. These are what? Predefined installed application. Okay, these applications didn't create by us, but this is registered inside what? Settings.py. But we have created our application. What is our application name? What is our application name? Anyone?
Test app.
Yes, our application name is test app. So in order to make familiarity to the Django server with your application, we need to register our application. Then Django server will recognize our application. So we will write here single quote, and inside the single quote, we will write our application name. Our application name is test app. Okay, so like that. So we need to register our application inside what? Django configuration, project configuration. This is the first activity. Okay, and so and second activity is what? Activity 2. Okay, these are the common activity. Whenever you will create the project, these are the compulsory steps we need to do. Okay, after that, what we will do? We will create a view function for our application in views.py. Okay, second activity is what? Inside our application folder, there is a view file. Okay, inside the view file, we will create one function. Okay, so this is what our test app. So inside the test app, we have views.py. So just click on views.py, and here we can create the function. How to create function in Python? How to create function in Python? What is the keyword to create function? Anyone remember? Yes or no? Okay, so in order to create function in Python, we write def. Okay, and here we will write the function name. Okay, so what is the function name? Function name, we can give any function name. For example, I'm writing here demo view. My function name is demo view. Okay, and we can create function like this. Okay, and here we pass one parameter. which is request. Okay, this is what default parameters we pass, and we return. Our function can return also. So here I am returning what? Hello Django project. Okay, I'm returning this thing only. I've created one simple function. Okay, so this is the activity 2. Okay, so we need to create the function inside the views.py. Okay, so if I talk about function, so if I talk about views, okay, so if we talk about views, types of views, okay, so we have two types of view. In views we can create what I'm creating here. Basically I'm creating here one view, right? I'm creating what? One view here, which is function based. This is function based view. Okay, and we can create here class based view as well. Okay, so types of views, one is what? Functional base. Okay, or not functional, we let's say function based view. Second is what? Class based views. Okay, there are two types of views we can create. First activity is what? We have to add our application inside what? Django configuration. Second activity is what? We have to create one view file. Okay, and after that we have to do another activity. The activity 3 is what? Third activity is, okay, now what we have to do? Define, we have to define URL pattern, define URL pattern for each view, each views in which file? urls.py file. Okay, there is one urls.py file where we will create one endpoint for each view. Okay, so see, I have created here, I have created one demo views function. Okay, so if I will start our application, how you will start your deployment server, how you will start your server? So in order to start our server, what is the command we write? Can anyone tell me? What command we write? Do you remember? Yes or no?
Can you repeat the question?
The question is which command we write in order to run our server. Understood the question?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So the command is py manage.py and run
One
server.
server. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So this is the command. And after that, we will copy this URL, or we can press Ctrl and on and click on this URL. Otherwise, we will just copy this URL and go to the browser and we will paste this URL. Okay. So see, what is my view name? I have created view. So what is my view name? Demo view. So if I will search here, if I will write here demo view, so what it is showing us? It is showing page not found, and it is showing 404 error. 404 means indicate this is like a page not found at the server place. So it is showing we have one URL which is admin. We have one URL which is admin. So but we need to display this function code. So in order to display the function code, we need to create one URL. Okay, see, this is what? Admin is one endpoint. So if I will write here admin, okay, so right now admin we didn't create. So we have admin. So we need to create one URL for this function, for this function. So where we will create one URL for this function? So activity 3, define URL pattern for each view in urls.py. What is our file name? urls.py. So where is the urls.py? So inside the project configuration, this is what project folder. Inside the project folder we have urls.py. Okay, so we don't need to read these things, we can delete it. This is just a comment. Okay, so here we will define URL. Okay, see, we have one endpoint which is admin, so that's the reason admin is showing here. Okay, that's the reason admin is showing here, but I want to create one endpoint for me. Okay, so like I'm writing here path, and I'm writing here what, like I'm writing one endpoint info. Okay, this is user defined info, means created by me. So this is what user defined or programmer defined. Okay, so this view, this, I mean this endpoint, I want to attach one function which is there inside views.py. This function, this endpoint, try to understand through diagram. See, I am creating URL inside what urls.py, and this that URL I need to attach with views function. Whatever view I have created into views.py, with that function I have to create, I have to attach that URL. Okay, so what is my view? My view name is what? My view name is demo view. So inside the urls.py, here I will write demo views. Okay, demo view. Okay, now what it is giving warning. Now it want to ask, it is asking like this demo view is not there in this urls.py file. So we need to mention, we need to say this demo view is not present here, but it is present in views.py. So we will write here views dot views. We will write just views. Okay, but view is not there. So we need to import the views. Okay, so what we will do, we will import the views. So from test app, what is our application name? Test app. Okay, what is our application name? Test app. Okay, this is test app, and inside the test app we have views. So this file we have to import from test app, import views. So we have to import this views file, because this views file is containing our demo view function. So now there is no error. Okay, so if you will refresh, so now you are getting two endpoint. First is what admin, and second is what info. And this info endpoint attached with which view? This info endpoint is attached with demo views. So whenever you will write info, it will go to the demo views, and this is what demo view, and it will return hello Django project. Okay, it will return like this. So what I have to do here, I have to mention here endpoint which we have created, which is info. Okay, so it is giving error right now. Response. So we need to import here from django.http import http response. Okay, so this http response is responsible to return http response, and can we write here h1, okay, like hello. Okay, so this is coming. Okay, so the output is coming. So whenever we are sending the http response, then we will import one method, we will import one library which is http response, which is available inside the Django http module, and we will return this http response like this. Okay, And otherwise we can store this inside a variable or message, and we can write h1 inside the single quote like h1. Okay, like for example, this is my Django project 1. This is my Django project 1. So here I will return what? One response. Okay, or let me write the variable name is what? Message 1. Okay, suppose so I will get this message. This is okay. This is my Django project 1. I want to create I want to display one more message. This is my Django project 2. I have to display that. So what we need to do? We need to create another function. So demo view. Okay, demo view. I'm writing here demo view 2, and here I'm writing request, which is default, and here I will write message 2, which is variable, and inside this I will create h2. Okay, h2. This is my Django project 2. Like that I have to display. So we have to return this response as a http response. Okay, and we will write this variable is message 2. Okay, and for this second view, okay, we have total two views. One is demo view and second is demo demo view 2. So for this view we need to create one URL. Okay, so we have created URL for info. I have to create another URL which is path info 2. Okay, slash, and we will write here our method name, so which is demo view 2. Okay, so let me just execute it. So now this time we are getting three views. One is for admin, second is what? Info, and third is what? Info 2. So when we write here info 2, when we write here info 2 slash info 2, so we will get another message which is this is my Django project 2. Okay, so this is just a simple activity we are doing. Okay, so these are the activities we have to do. We have to create one application and store, and we have to register that application inside what? Settings.py. Then we have to create views. Okay, we can create function based view, class based views, and the third one is we need to define URL pattern for each views. Okay, then we can run our application. Okay, so let's recap now. Okay, so let's recap whatever we have discussed yesterday and today. Okay, so the question is, what are the steps? What are the steps to create Django Django project with application? Can anyone help me with this question?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what should be the first step?
We have to write Django admin.
Okay, so the step one is create project. Okay, so what is the command to create project? Django admin, then start project. Okay, and project name. Okay, for example, I'm writing here project 2. Project 2 is what? This. And second step is what? Step 2, create application. So how to create application? CD, we have to go to inside what? Project folder, CD project 2. Okay, and after that py,
Py manage.py.
then
Then we have to write whatever the start app, whatever we are creating.
so start app and test app. Okay, okay, next step is what? Step 3. Next step is add app in settings.py. Okay, so we have to add this app into what? Settings.py. Another step is what? Create view. Okay, create view, and view can be function based or class based. Okay, another step is what? Step 5 is create URL or endpoint for each view, right? The
Yes, sir.
last step is the last step is
Prim-
start server. Start server. Okay, so how to start the server? Py manage.py
manage.py.
run
Run server.
server. Okay, this is the command. And after that, step 6, step 7, send request to the
HTTP response.
okay, send request to the server.
HTTP server.
Okay, send request to the server.
Whatever link we are getting, we have to copy paste that in the browser. No?
By writing endpoint name. Okay, like how? For example, https slash colon, and for example here we are accessing what? We are accessing second view. Okay, this is what? Info2, this is endpoint. Info2 is what? Endpoint, which is attached with a particular view. So okay, so
Yes.
these are the 7 steps to create a simple project. These are what? 7 simple steps to create Django project.
Yes, sir.
That is enough for today.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so tomorrow we will discuss in detail about like project creation and all. All right, so thank you everyone for today's for joining class. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
all right, I will share the notes on WhatsApp group.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay,
Okay, bye.
bye bye everyone.